So we have a new season of Big Brother UK. These are my first impressions slash predictions. I feel like there's always going to be cliques in the house, and usually this is based on commonality. So I feel like the first big block that we have of RIP is the queer block. And we have four that are self-identified. Who knows? More could come out, but right now we have a solid four. We have Zayla, our resident trans, Nancy, our resident pansexual, and then we have Gani and Sam, the resident gays. Now, of course, queers are not a monolith. Just because they're queer doesn't mean they're going to come together and make a queer alliance. That they'll have each other's backs, but I think we'll have to see. I think it's always great to have queer representation on these shows. I do wish that sometimes it wasn't just one trans person, though. I think it would be nice to have more than one. I think Ghani is going to be the lovable gay that everybody loves in the house. I think Nancy is definitely going to be the flirt. But if I'm going to prejudge her, I feel like she's going to be flirting with the boys more than the girls. Sam, he's the typical flamboyant gay. So I think it's going to be interesting how he interacts and how other people, more conservative housemates, react to him. I think if there's anyone going to be having an argument, I think it will be him. And then, of course, Zayla, our resident trans person. I think, especially in this climate, and because we have like conservative people in this house, I just know ignorant questions are bound to fly. But I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how people interact with Zayla, because I do think people treat trans women and trans men differently. Oftentimes, trans men are actually kind of like left out of the conversation. I feel like a lot of the controversy and right-wing media kind of focus on trans women and demonize them. And of course, Zayla passes. I feel like you wouldn't know if he didn't say it. If he didn't disclose that he was trans, I don't think a lot of people would have thought that he was trans. And I think being passable does change how people treat you. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how people interact with him. But like I said, there's bound to be some ignorant questions about his trans journey. And yeah, I'm betting on probably some controversy around it, especially with the more conservative people. So yeah, he says that he doesn't like bros, and I can only assume it's because they're the ones asking the ignorant questions. Right now, I like what I'm seeing from the queer bloc. But like I said, it'll be interesting to see whether they stick together or not. Then we have who I think is going to be the controversial people. And I think the only person I can think of RIP is Emily. She's coming out saying everybody should kiss a Tory once. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's coming in to be the resident Tory. There seems to be one every season, and that's her. I'm sure she's already plotted up her career to be a conservative grifter post-show. She said, she wants to go to church. She wants to find her husband on here. So who knows? Maybe she'll find her hubby on here. I don't think Emily is the only conservative person in this house, especially with how this country is going. She's bound not to be the only one. But the only other one that I could suspect of being a Tory as well is Cameron. He's a farmer. I'm 99.9% sure that he is a conservative. He's treading lightly, or he's going to slip up soon and say something controversial. I mean, he's already kind of started, he's saying he's flying the flag for British farming. I wonder what else he flies the flag for. But yeah, he's definitely a Tory. And I'm pretty sure him and Emily are going to get into some political chat together. I mean, he was out here protesting. So I think that's going to be interesting to see what type of chat he gets into. But I feel like Cameron might want to tread lightly in the beginning, but then once he gets comfortable, it's going to start slipping out. But who knows, maybe him and Emily, they could be a thing. He could be the Christian farmer for her. We'll see. I reckon there's definitely going to be political debate involving them. Will it be juicy? We'll see. I also think it'll be quite interesting to see how Emily interacts with Elsa, because Elsa's also a Christian, but she says that she's a Christian because she sees and hears dead people. And I feel like ultra conservative people will probably just feel like, that's a bit witchcrafty, that's a bit devilish. So I think that's going to be quite interesting if they have a chat together. Then we have the flirts of the house, because there's always that kind of flirty romantic element who fancies each other. Like, there's always an element of Big Brother. And I think the flirts of the house, I think the number one flirt is going to be Nancy. She basically came in and said she was going to be a flirt. Then we have Tate. I mean, he came in with his arse out. Of course, he's going to be a flirt. Marcus says that he's a flirt, but I don't know. We'll see the Riz. We'll see the Riz. And I think Jenny's probably going to be a flirt as well. I feel like there's going to be a flirtationship between Nancy and Tate, just foreshadowing. If I could predict a flirtationship, I think Nancy's definitely here to flirt. Whether she's here for a relationship is another story. Then we have the disruptor slash party people, the people that are going to have bad habits, keeping people up, etc. I think that's probably going to be Jenny and Tate. If I'm going to stereotype them, I think they're going to be the annoying ones, annoying everyone. Then we have the resident baby of the group, Tisha. She's 18. She is very much a mummy's girl. She's very family orientated. This seems to be like the first time away from her family. I think a lot of people are going to try and take her under their wing, and I think she should definitely use that to her advantage. And then we have the maternal figure. I mean, I guess we could just say maternal figure. Usually there's like one or two old people, but it seems to just be Caroline, and now she's on the chopping block, so she might be going. I would have liked to see a bit more of an age range, because it seems like Caroline has kind of just been like left out on her own to fend for herself. But if she stays, I think she would definitely be some sort of a maternal figure. But I think it'd be quite interesting as well, because I don't know, I kind of get a vibe of, you know, she's kind of like an older lady who's kind of, you know, likes to be single, enjoys her own company, and maybe a little bit of a man hater. So I thought that would be quite an interesting dynamic to have in there, but who knows whether she's going to survive. Overall, I would say not too bad. We have a range of personalities here. We have some big personalities. We have some mellow ones. Like I said, I think it would have been nice to have more older people in there, so Caroline wasn't alone. I think it would have been good to have some Muslim representation in there. I don't know if anyone is Muslim in there, but I don't think there is. I think especially in the times that we're living in now, Big Brother's meant to be like a big social experiment. So I think especially in these times, I think it would have been nice to have Muslim representation. I don't know whether Marcus is mixed race or not, but he's giving very much ambiguous. And he's just like the only black person there. So it would have been nice if she had another black person, like a visibly other black person there. But other than that, I think the representation is okay. This season maybe could have had a lesbian in there in the queer block. But yeah, we move. Let's see these personalities marinate. I'm here for the drama.